Green cards for your family, sponsorship categories. Can relatives come to the US? It depends on how the family member is related. Many people in the United States have family members living in other countries, and wonder whether they can bring them here. It's a myth that if one immigrant settles in the United States, that one can get green cards, permanent residence, for the whole extended family, and so on. A process the Trump White House calls chain migration. The truth is both more limited and more complex. Who you can help immigrate? You can petition to bring family members to the United States, often called sponsoring them, only if you are a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, green card holder. Even then, you can bring in only those family members listed on the chart below. Who can sponsor who? Who you are. Immigrants you can petition. The immigrants category. U.S. citizen age 21 or older. Parents. Immediate relative. U.S. citizen. At least age 18, for financial sponsorship purposes. Spouse. Immediate relative. U.S. citizen. At least age 18, for financial sponsorship purposes. Minor, unmarried children. Immediate relative. U.S. citizen. Married children or adult children. Preference relative. First or third preference. U.S. citizen age 21 or older. Brothers and sisters. Preference relative, fourth preference. U.S. permanent resident. Unmarried children. Preference relative. Second preference 2A or 2B. U.S. permanent resident. Spouse. Preference relative. Second preference. Notice who is not on this list: grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, parents-in-law, and other extended family members. However, if allowed to immigrate to the United States, the people on the above list, except for the immediate relatives, will be permitted to bring their own spouses and children with them. And it is true that once someone has a green card, they can sponsor other people on the list. How long must relatives wait? Immediate relatives can get green cards without worrying about visa availability waiting periods or numerical limits. There will be a wait of many months, however, while USCIS and then the State Department actually process the applications. Preference relatives typically have to wait between for some number of years before being allowed to apply for their visa or green card. Only a certain percentage of the green cards in the preference categories go to any one country each year. That means that if a particularly high number of people submit petitions for family from certain countries, as is often the case with India, Mexico, China, and the Philippines, their family members end up waiting even longer than others. Because of annual limits on how many green cards, immigrant visas, are given out, and the unpredictability of how many people will submit petitions each year, no one can say exactly how long each preference category applicant will wait. All we know for sure is how long the people at the front of the line right now have been waiting. As a general rule, applicants in higher preference categories wait less time. The average time that people from most countries, excluding India, Mexico, China, the Dominican Republic and the Philippines, have been waiting as of April 2018 is as follows. Current average waiting period. Type of preference relative. Preference category. Average wait. Adult, unmarried children of U.S. citizens. First preference. 7 years, but 22 years for citizens of Mexico and 12 years for citizens of the Philippines. Spouses or children of permanent residents. Second preference. 2 years for spouses and for minor children, 2A, 7 years for adult children aged 21 or over, 2B, from most countries, but 22 years for citizens of Mexico and 12 years for citizens of the Philippines. Married children of U.S. citizens. Third preference. 12 years for people from most countries, but 23 years for citizens of Mexico and the Philippines. Brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens. Fourth preference. 14 years for people from most countries, but 21 years for citizens of Mexico and 24 years for citizens of the Philippines. Although these waiting periods are not set in stone, it's been true for years that the longest waits are endured by siblings of U.S. citizens, fourth preference, from the Philippines. How to start the application process. It's your job as a U.S. citizen or green card holder to start the process, by submitting a visa petition. For more information, subscribe for our channel and watch Key Steps in Applying for Family or Marriage-Based Green Card.